Hey, welcome to Rise and Shine with Alissa. I am the consultress, your host, Alissa Bakar, here bringing conversations to you live from the front lines of innovation. Front lines? Maybe I need a margarita. From the front lines of innovation. And I get the privilege and pleasure of having conversations with amazing people in my business and in my life. And we'd like to have you have a peek behind the curtain in the room where it happens. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Dave Dubeau from the Property Profits podcast. Welcome, Dave.
Alissa, it's a pleasure to be here.
Right on, dude. So I had the privilege and the pleasure of being interviewed on your podcast recently. And I love the fact that you take the conversational and the relationship style into that forum as well. So for all you real estate geeks out there, go check out Dave's podcast. But Dave, we met once upon a time when I was looking to get out there and kind of up my game in the private lending space, being a private money lender myself and helping other people empower them to do the same. So how did you find yourself into real estate at the outset? What brought you to the industry?
Well, yeah, first of all, it was an absolute pleasure working with you. You're actually one of our poster children for success in that because you really kicked some serious butt. So yeah, no, that's awesome. How did I get into real estate investing? Interesting, actually. Listen, I've been around real estate all of my life. I mean, the family home that I grew up in as a young child was actually one unit in a sixplex that my father and grandfather had built. So that just kind of seemed to be normal, being around tenants and that kind of stuff. Then my mother was a very active real estate investor, which was kind of impressive. My parents split up. So my mom was a single mom raising a snot-nosed kid, yours truly, in the 1980s, early 80s, and built up a portfolio of around 50 rental units, all by her little lonesome way back when, as a single working mom. So that was pretty impressive. But again, just kind of seemed like that's what everybody does. So I didn't pay much attention to it. So fast forward quite a few years, and I was actually living down in San Jose, Costa Rica, where I spent 10 years and had a language training company down there and got married and had kids and kind of was living the Latino lifestyle, so to speak. And that was when I kind of first took a few little dabbles into real estate, did what we would call a couple of pre-foreclosure type deals, which worked reasonably well. And then in 2003, I packed up my Costa Rican family and brought them back to Canada, kicking and screaming. Tropical paradise, Costa Rica, frozen hinterlands of Canada. Everybody goes, Dubeau, what the hell were you thinking? What are you doing, man? But our kids were getting to be school age, and we just, my ex-wife and myself decided, you know what, this is the best place for them to grow up and go to school. So moved to Canada, and I had to figure out what the heck am I going to do? And I didn't have much money. I hadn't been able to sell my business in Costa Rica yet. I'd been gone from Canada so long. I didn't have bad credit. I had zero credit. And we moved to a brand new city where I had no contacts or connections. I've been self-employed for so long. I was pretty much unemployable. So there I was, just figured, what the hell am I going to do? And this is before your time, Alissa, but there used to be these things on TV called late night infomercials. You might remember them from when you were a kid. But anyhow, one of these things came on that says, you too can get rich in real estate with little or no money down. I said, hey, that's perfect, because that's exactly what I got. Little or no money.
I mean, hey, we've all been there. And that's like kind of the dream.
Some of us several times. You never know, right? So anyhow, that's how I set away for this. So I'm up here in Canada, set away for this American Guru's Get Rich Quick in Real Estate course, and put it to use, and it worked. I actually did 18 deals in 18 months, all using the creative low money, no money down type process. Caught the eye of an up and coming real estate guru up here, and he saw my background in marketing, so I started working with him, and I helped him explode his business. And then I've been kind of doing one form of real estate or another ever since.
You know, you are an interesting cat. I learn more about you every time we talk. But I love your attitude. A zero with no money, that is great. That's because that's exactly what I've got. I love the term that you use, also unemployable. Lots of folks that are watching out there are aspiring or already in motion, full tilt entrepreneurs. And that's what we become. That is the
Yeah.
dream that we all live, is like, once we, ditch the 9 to 5, sometimes it becomes, that really alluring look back, like, oh, maybe I should go back and do that. Or, oh, that life was so much easier when, but your eyes have been
Simpler.
open. It's like you can't unsee it after that. And
Well,
it's
yeah, the challenge is some of us, I won't speak for everybody, some of us kind of trade in one doofus boss for another when we become self-employed. So you got to be a little bit careful there. And some of us go from working 40 hours a week to make a living to working for ourselves 80 hours a week to make less than what we were making 40 hours a week at the beginning, but that's all part of the journey, right?
I mean, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
you know, I have an appreciation for that story because I burned the ships. Like, I did go from the island of Long Island, New York, where it's
Ooh.
temperate and the beaches are right there, to Western PA, where it might as well be Canada. It's freezing here. Um, but, you know,
Hence why we're having a nice warm beverage.
heck yeah.
That's what it's all about.
um, but to be honest, that pursuit of happiness and that pursuit of freedom and that pursuit of like lifestyle ownership, where we
Yeah.
all get to be masters of our own destiny. I feel like, I don't know if I'm speaking for you here, but I feel like that's the driving force, is like, what can I create that's new and better and different? And then,
And me, right? What
and
can I
that right.
create that's my own thing? You say it so well, Alyssa. Yeah, there's struggle there's challenges with being self-employed and an entrepreneur. Basically, it's all I've ever known pretty much since I was 24 years old. I think that was the last time I had a job, and I'm 29 now, so it's been quite a while.
Right.
Give or take.
It's
Yeah,
a couple years.
I wish. Yeah, so basically it's been 30 years of being in self-employed, 31 years actually now. um and here's the thing though, I love what I do. Like, I talk to friends and acquaintances who are employees and who are looking forward to retirement and doing the countdown and all this kind of stuff. I never want to retire. Like, I not because I want to need to work when I'm 75. I just want to be passionate about what I'm doing, like I am right now. I find it, I don't know about you, but it seems like a lot of people who retire die pretty soon thereafter. So there's some sort of connection between having a purpose and living a long and fruitful and happy life.
Yeah. Um, I couldn't have said it better. There's something to be said for living the life you're meant to live, even though it's uncomfortable, it's atypical, it's against the grain. People think you're nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the club. I mean,
Yeah.
who's really not nuts? We all
Right. And
follow the
and
lead.
and I and the whole meant to live, I think the life we choose to live, right? Like, I'm not a big proponent of destiny and the fates and all this kind of stuff. I think we grab life by the what, and we
The
go
horns.
for it.
Yeah,
The what? The
the
horns. There we
horns.
go.
There you
That's
go.
much better than what I was thinking.
Image.
The horns. Yeah.
Yep. 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 Grabbing life by the horns and making your choices around the path of what you want. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
like, you're looking at Miss Disruption. We now live in the age of disruption. So, Dave, we're uniquely qualified to help people disrupt that, like, humdrum, normal but suffering, but they're content because, we're uniquely qualified to say, hey, there's another way to do this. It
Mm-hmm.
involves adventure. It involves a little bit of growth outside your comfort zone, because the comfort zone is really just a nice, cozy little trap. And,
Mm-hmm.
giving people the aspirations to move beyond what they thought was possible. So here I sit in a new home. I should stop saying new. I've been here almost 2 years. In a new home and in a new environment that
Newish.
more newish, that fits myself, it fits my family, it fits kind of how we want to live, like that
Yeah.
lifestyle dream. But you know what? To dream the next piece, the next level that I'm going to, I was like, well, damn it. I already did all the stuff I thought I wanted to. And now I'm sitting here wondering, oh, I got to do it
Now
again.
what? Yeah.
Yeah. Now I
Got to
have to
keep that
look at,
spark going.
yeah. And I have to look at things that are outside that comfort. I'm like, oh, damn it. I made a new
I'm
comfort
reading
zone.
a really good book right now. You might like, Alissa. It's called, it's by Darren Hardy and Dan Sullivan. Big fan of those guys. And it's their newest book called 10X is Easier Than 2X.
Just
And
bought
it's,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going through that right now, and that ties right into everything you just said there. And so instead of just going for incremental improvements and like blow the lid off, and and this whole 10X thing has been overused. Cardone and everybody, like the high testosterone sales guys, or that kind of, it doesn't necessarily need to be like that, but it's all about, like you say, getting out of that little comfort zone that we stick ourselves in, and thinking much bigger, not just financially, but lifestyle wise, right? Because that's at the end of the day what it's all about.
Yeah. I got trained a decade ago or more to be a human potential trainer because I was like, this will help my business. I'll be able to market more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It revolutionized my entire life. I wound up, pulling my kids out of school and homeschooling, even more radically unschooling them. How are they going to learn? How are they going to socialize? Like I disrupted so many like shoulds and norms along that path that I just got used to that being the way that I lived. So that also informed how I went about thinking about business and how I went about thinking about relationships and leisure activities. I joined an adult choir in my late 30s and realized that it felt like I had been holding my breath for 20 years. I missed singing with a choir, but this new normal stuff, it's kind of that resistance and breakthrough that we are continually doing repetitiously to grow. So
Mm.
once we achieve that new normal, the next challenge is to break through it. So when we normalize things like disruption, like today's day and age, like what the hell's normal anymore, right?
Mm.
We're all reevaluating everything that we built our life on, get a job and a picket fence and 2.5 kids when you're married. Like, okay, I kind of did that a little ass backwards, but okay, it's the way that it happens. But I've normalized not following the grain so much that now I can't follow grains. I have to just look to people who have gotten results that I want to get, whether that's in any of these buckets, personal, professional, or somewhere in between,
Mm.
and then say, do I want that? Oh yeah, that excites me. And then I'm getting used to following that excitement now. So following fun for me is like this year's greatest adventure. Is that I realized being in finance and being in real estate and being in all those, typically white collar professions, a lot of it comes with this measure of seriousness. One of my previous guests called it seriosity. I love that. I want to be curious, but I got to be serious about it. And this year I've discarded the notion that if it's too heavy feeling, if it's too serious feeling, it might not actually be a fit for me because
Well, not only that, but I
following.
think if you bring some lightness to it, that makes you stick out. That makes you more fun. That'll probably make you more successful in that stodgy kind of industry, right? That's You're disrupting it a little bit. So bring that light, bring that fun into finance, into real estate, etc. In fact, what was I reading about? I was reading about a financial planner. So that's a pretty stodgy kind of
Look at your
boring.
face. You're a financial planner, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I studied to be one. So
same.
so anyhow, this guy, completely different take on it. He became quite successful in financial planning the normal way, but this guy is a comedian at heart. So like his dream was to become a stand-up comic. So he actually managed to create a stand-up comedy routine, ask me how, around personal finance that he took out on the road. So he had a blast doing this. He actually got crowds coming out, not stadiums, but he got crowds coming out, and he like 5x'd his business in like 2 years doing his passion and tying it into that stodgy, boring, traditionally boring kind of topic. So, there's always a way.
Yeah, I need to meet this person. Who is
Yeah.
this? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I just read about the guy. I'll have to find the name of the
yeah.
guy.
We'll put it in the show notes for later. But I definitely, so that to me is like, if it's fun, it's for me. I when I first started in real estate investment finance, I was like, I put the fun in funding, right?
I think perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fun and finance actually do go together, because when you take the fun out of finance, it's just banking.
Yeah. Well, that's what most people do, though. That's why it's such a tough topic, but I love that.
Mhm.
Fun and funding.
That's it. And so I've actually leaned into my coaching practice. I have found that people are getting much better success when I make it a game. When I
Yeah.
say, not this is the exercise we're going to do, but like, here's a game we're going to play. There's this
Nice.
personal transformational tool called What Do You Want? And it's like a back and forth with the person that you're speaking to. And you can do this in a group. You could do this one-on-one. You can do this as a hot seat. Anyway, you just continue to ask the person, what do you want? And the first thing that pops to mind is the thing that they're supposed to say. So what do you want? And then you say, and what do you want? And then you say it. And we go through this for anywhere from 60 seconds to 5 minutes. And 5 minutes seems like an eternity. But sometimes people get down to like the really core, vulnerable, don't anybody look there parts when they get to the what do you want. And I decided one time to ask this woman, what did you win? Like, this person was super successful, feeling like, oh God, I feel very stressed. And I said, did you look back and check your accomplishments? So we
Mhm.
played this game, what did you win? And at the end of it, she's like, oh my God, I'm going to go do this with all my trainers that I just trained, And games make things fun. So
Exactly.
how so finding fun in real estate, to me, the reason why it is so much fun is because, like, no two situations are alike. It's always interesting to try to understand it, figure it out, put the team together. So where do you find that fun in how you work in today's day and age?
Well, that brought up an idea. So, speaking of fun, this is a little puzzle that we have for our clients that we work with as we're going through our process with them. They fill in the they fill in the puzzle with each stage of the process that we're doing. And it seems very, very juvenile, but I've got, you know, stodgy old dudes like myself that are loving this because it's kind of different. It's not maybe not quite as much fun as some of the stuff you're talking
I
about
mean, is
there,
there
but
chocolate behind
there
those? Like, is it like an
it
advent
still
calendar?
should be. It should be like an advent calendar is what exactly what. There you go. There's the next idea. But yeah, that's something that I do to gamify things a little bit, and people find that interesting as well. So that's one example of what we do to try to lighten things up. Also, sending our clients hopefully little unexpected gifts and things like that. We've got a Speaking of chocolates, we've got a really nice chocolate production company close to where I live. So all new clients, we put together a little package of these really, really nice chocolates, send it off to them. Those kind of things stick out in people's mind. It's just a lot more fun than jumping on Zoom and just talking business all the time.
Yeah, except for when you're on Rise and Shine with Alissa, right?
Well, hey, it's just there's nothing better.
I was playing some music pre-production before we got on. Dave comes on. It's like, wow, what do
What
you
the hell are
do in
you
the
doing,
morning?
lady? You're way too, but you're 3 hours ahead of me, so you got to give me a little bit of time to catch up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So just for the folks watching, where can people find you, and who are you looking to help move along that journey from where they are to prosperity?
Yeah, well, thanks, Alissa. So our big thing is we work with what we call everyday people investing in real estate. And what I'm offering these days is an opportunity to be a guest on my podcast, which is back here, Property Profits Real Estate Podcast, because we've turned this into a daily show. So we're looking for a number of guests to be interviewing. And again, even if you've never been interviewed on a podcast before, we specialize in what I call podcast first timers. And it's just a really great way to boost your confidence, get on a platform that reaches tens of thousands of people, kind of extend your reach, and most importantly, kind of show the people in your sphere, your connections, your friends, family, coworkers, etc., a little bit about what you do when it comes to real estate investing. Because I don't know about you, Alissa, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a lonely game, and people around us don't quite understand what the heck is it that this person is doing with this real estate thing. So this is a great way to showcase yourself.
Yeah, right on. I had a really great time when we did our interview. And so you should go to propertyprofitspodcast.com and check out all of the everyday investors that Dave has helped to come through and to prosper. So not only are you interviewing clients, you're also interviewing people who are coming from other areas and other spheres to come talk to you. And then maybe you'll also help them out too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all 100% real estate focused for sure. That's what we focus on. Yeah, and if you go check that out, you'll see Alyssa's amazing episode as well.
So good to see you today, Dave. As always, it's a pleasure, and it's actually a really fun time talking to you. If
Likewise.
you need any help in real estate, as far as putting out for private money lenders and building up your presentation, Dave's the guy to talk to. I hired him way back when, and it was one of the best things I did for my business. So check him out, check out the podcast. And until next time, friends, rise and shine, keep pushing your edges, and just know that if it's normal, it's probably boring, and it's time to disrupt that. Talk to me, talk to Dave, and we'll help you get from where you are to where you actually really want to be. Yeah? Dave, thanks a million.
Cheers.
Cheers. See ya.